What's up, guys? My name is JP. I'm here with Legends, and today we're going to be breaking down the flavors of our Decipher. I'm going to start with the Cucumber Surge first, one of my favorites and our newest drop. So when we decided to do the Cucumber Surge, we actually went through quite a few different flavors. There's like 4 different flavors on the docket, and Cucumber came out to be the best one. But even the first round of Cucumber wasn't quite on point. We had to go back to the drawing board and sit with the manufacturers to get the actual flavor profile we wanted. We wanted to add a little bit extra lime to it. It was just a little missing something. So we had to find the perfect balance of that refreshing cucumber with the lime end on it. This is my new personal favorite, to be honest, just because it's always refreshing. And it doesn't seem ever too repetitive. It's good for pre-workout because we have a full electrolyte blend in there as well. So it gets you nice and hydrated and keeps you through your workout, but also is refreshing in taste. Finding the right cucumber flavor was hard because there's not too many good cucumber flavors out there in the supplement market. A lot of them are going to be either too sweet or they add too many other flavors to it or too artificial. So we had to find the right blend in ours where it's going to have a nice lime kick to it too to enhance that kind of refreshing flavor to it, but also have that strong cucumber forward flavor. So the first taste on that is definitely cucumber, and then you get a nice citrus lime finish as you finish drinking it. I think a common problem with pre-workout flavors in the market is a lot of them are going to use a ton of artificial sweeteners or fillers to kind of fill up and cover the flavor of the actual ingredients in there. Because sometimes when you get a bunch of these pump ingredients together, they can be really powerful, and you need to find the right flavor balance to make sure that you can actually taste the flavor of the product without being too chemically or too salty, per se. So what we tried to do with these ones to really make sure we didn't have any fillers, so we don't have any added colors or anything extra that is going to kind of take away from the product, giving you something that's going to be good flavor and good performance as well. We work closely with the manufacturer to kind of make sure all the flavors are on point. So kind of as I mentioned earlier with Cucumber Surge, a lot of these will start with a 1A and a 1B version. And we'll have to go through and kind of see what we need to add to kind of make the flavor more distinct or to really kind of change the vibe of the flavor altogether. This next one we're going to be trying is going to be our Melon Surge. It's probably one of our most popular. It's going to be a watermelon flavor. The first run was actually probably our fastest, I want to say. I would say when we went back to kind of refine to find different flavors and more like the next step was kind of our longer process. We kind of knew going into it in the very beginning we wanted a watermelon flavor, probably some sort of blueberry, raspberry flavor, and then something else as well, like a juice punch or like a fruit punch to really kind of hit some of the top flavors in the market. So the first kind of flavors were kind of easiest to come, and then when Cucumber Surge came along, we really kind of tried to do everything we could to separate ourselves from the market at that point with flavor. I think of the first round, I really liked the Melon Surge as my personal favorite, but I think I really liked it the most because it's a watermelon flavor that really stands out from your normal super Sour Patch Candy kind of watermelon. It almost tastes like a true watermelon flavor. We also did add a little bit of strawberry in there, so it has a little bit of a sweetness on the end, so it's going to be more of a complex flavor as opposed to your regular watermelon whatever from your favorite brand. We went ahead and named the product overall Decipher. You can really see we went for something that would stand out on the shelf when we gave it its own kind of godly design, something that kind of stands above all and speaks to the quality of the product, but also kind of the legacy and the legendariness of it. As far as the flavor goes, we wanted to go something with high kind of voltage or high power behind it. So we went with like things like lightning and thunder kind of feelings of the flavor. Thus the Cucumber Surge and the Melon Surge on those. So I think those two, the Melon Surge and the Cucumber Surge, are probably the most complex flavors we have where there is kind of some balancing flavors in there. With the other ones, we went for other flavors that would be very popular but also tasty to like the average consumer, I would say. So something like a blue raspberry, very popular, but we tried to make sure it wasn't the super candy, like I said earlier, overly sweet and kind of artificial tasting. We really tried to nail the closest thing to a good blue raspberry flavor on that. For Lightning Punch, we really tried to go for more of that classic kind of Hawaiian punch, kind of punch bowl flavor. So it's going to be that really kind of more of a sweet, fruity overall punch flavor on that one. Sweet all the way through without being too overly sweet. The biggest thing on these is balancing out, like I mentioned earlier, the flavor of the actual flavor of the product with all the ingredients in there. Because when you get to adding your 8 milligrams of citrulline and 4 grams of beta-alanine, that's 12 grams per scoop. That's going to be a powder that you have to cover with the flavor that you do. So you have to try to balance that out. So the biggest thing with these was going back and testing 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B of each flavor to make sure that the flavor is balanced out without being too overly salty or too overly sweet with all of your electrolytes and pump ingredients. So earlier I spoke on how we really made sure the pump formula was there with the 8 grams of citrulline and the 4 beta-alanine. I feel like a lot of pre-workouts on the market will skip the nootropic angle or kind of give you a half-assed formula to really kind of get you, just put them in there. One of my personal favorite things when we built the Decipher was make sure there was a strong nootropic matrix in there to really kind of help with mental clarity and mental focus throughout your workout. We made sure there's quite a few things in there, including alpha GPC, citrullocholine, L-theanine, and huperzine A, all working together to really help increase your mental focus, clarity, and even help with dopamine release through your caffeine rush as well, to make sure it's a nice sustained workout with nice uplifting and kind of clear thoughts throughout. So I've taken a ton of different pre-workouts. I've been lifting on and off since I was in college. So I've got the pleasure of trying some super high stim ones that are no longer on the market. I'm going to a lot of the new stuff that are the new top sellers and different brands that are kind of really killing it. I think a lot of brands are really focused on one or two things. They really try to give you the full pump. They'll try to over give you too much stim or kind of give you a ton of stim, or they'll kind of do like a variation of both that usually kind of falls short in my opinion because they're trying to cut corners or bring a product to market that's at a good price where they can still justify having all the ingredients in there. With Decipher, we made sure we didn't cut any of those corners. So we made sure we had the full pump matrix in there, the full energy and nice high stim matrix in there, and the nootropic matrix in there to really kind of hit your workout from all three angles. So you're not getting that 30 minutes later, 40 minutes into your workout kind of crashing out because the caffeine's coming down. That's when the nootropic kicks in and kind of keeps you going to finish through your full workout. That's where the electrolytes come in to make sure you're not dehydrated or tired 20, 30 minutes in and really kind of brings the formula all together. So as far as comparing this to other pre-workouts on the market, I think we really did a good job of making sure we hit every single pillar needed to create a good pre-workout. To someone trying Decipher for the first time, the flavor that I would recommend would probably be our Melon Surge. Not only is it most popular, I think it's one of our more complex flavors. Having that full watermelon flavor with a little bit of strawberry keeps it unique every time. Nice refreshing kick to it, and probably one of the easiest flavors to kind of try for your first time. All 4 flavors of Decipher are currently available on legends.com.